Hello. I want to talk about the topic list today. It's the shortest part of the mediation process. It generally lasts all of maybe 60 seconds or maybe 2 minutes at the most. It's important. I view it as kind of reaching the top of the most difficult climb in the summit, or maybe it's like halftime, one of the two. So let's talk about that for just a minute. If you look at your slides, I've got mine here in front of me, and so I'm going to kind of walk through those and talk my way through those as we go. Your slide number 2 just reminds you kind of where we are in that. We're at the end of the exploring the situation phase. And we're just getting ready to move into, hey, how do we reach a resolution? How do we figure this out? What can we find to solve this? So you move over to slide 3, and that's that picture out of your mediator's handbook, the one that has all of those really great little boxes. Take some time to read those carefully. Take some time to look at those. They're accurate. They're really very true on how your storytelling part is up at the top. Your exchange is up at the top. You move down through those 5 little blue lines that I've highlighted for you. And your goal is ultimately to reach that understanding, that level of empathy that the parties need in order to move into the collaborative, the resolution part. The 4th slide merely says, hey, you know, the topic list is that little bitty box up in the corner. That's it. It's 60 seconds. It's maybe 2 minutes. And then you move on. I left on slide 5 kind of what my notes looked like coming out of one of my more recent mediations that I did. Notice I scribble all over. There's stuff going everywhere. I don't expect you to be able to read it. But what you might find valuable in that is down in the right-hand corner of the 3rd page, you'll see some little scribbles in that corner. I'm going to find some spot on my page where I find a way to identify what I think are key points or create my topic list, moving that forward. On slide number 6, I give you sort of a verbatim. I sort of talk to you about how I might approach that. Let me look at that and read that to you just a little bit. I would say, okay, Paul, Kim, we talked a lot about this. We moved in and out of different subjects. We talked about different topics. I've listened. I've tried to take notes. And I really think in order for us to get this situation resolved, we really need to look at these 7 different points. Let me review those with you. I want to make sure that I got it right. First one being treated fairly. And that, when both of you talked about that, that was kind of a gender thing. That was a female-male thing. And I would say it wasn't going just one way. It wasn't going just, how do we treat the female correctly or fairly or professionally. It was really kind of going back and forth. So I want to come back and visit that. Want to make sure we have some solutions for that. Second thing, communication. Communication is always a part of this. Third thing, no behind the back conversations. No going to the third party and saying, oh, guess what Paul said? Or guess what Kim said? Or guess what happened? If I have a concern, a problem, I'm going to come to you. I want to talk about how that works. I want to talk a little bit about tools for that. I want to, when we get to sort of generating options, we'll figure that out. That's how I move through that list. Admittedly, this is about as long of a list as I'm going to want. There's 7 items on here. I don't want to go more than that. It starts getting overly complicated. I can't get my head wrapped around it. In my perfect world, I'm going to keep that to 3 to 5. Sometimes I'm going to have to go a little more than that. This particular case that I'm talking about was an ongoing workplace one. It had been happening for over a year. There was a lot of just stuff stacked up that we needed to get to. So I can live with it being a little bit longer than that. Slide number 7 talks about what a topic list is. Take some time to look through that. In fact, I really think you should take some time to look through each one of these slides. Sort of read through them. Think about them in the context of what we're talking about and think about how you'd apply that. Slide number 8 talks about why you need a topic list. Slide number 9 says it's like a map. It's like an agenda. Today, I was working with a group of folks and we were working on registered neighborhood organizations and how we move that forward. I'm working on the whiteboard over here and I'm jotting down a bunch of different notes, a bunch of different things. And when I get towards the end, I come back and I literally starred 4 different items. And I said, I want to make sure that I got this right. These are the things that we really needed to solve. These are the topics. These are the points that you kept coming back to over and over again. And granted, you have different opinions about them. You come at them from different directions. But these are really the 4 things I heard. Is that correct? Did I miss anything in capturing that? As we move to next steps, are you good if we say, here's what we got to resolve? Here's what we got to find options and solutions to. I need that because I want to make sure my map's correct. I need that because I want to make sure I get buy-in from the parties. Again, number 10 is really reiterating that. Slide 10 is saying, hey, check it. Make sure you're right. You're going to get both buy-in and you're going to get corrected once in a while. And somebody's going to go, no, I think you really mean to say this. And that's okay. It's their process. It's their map. It's their agenda. I want to know that. And like I said in the last slide, to me, it's a reassuring halftime. I've worked so hard, and so have they, to get through that exchange, to hear everything that we needed to hear, that I now need to get to this spot where I'm sort of able to catch my breath. I take a sigh and I go, okay, here's what I think we got. And I'm able to be concise about it. I'm able to be reasonably accurate. And this gives the assurance that, okay, Steve gets it. Okay, now we can move on. Yes, we are going to attend to those points. It is like a halftime. It's like a catch your breath, and then we're going to move into the options. Again, 60 seconds, maybe 2 minutes, a minute or 2, and it creates a structure for you moving forward. There you go. You got the topic list.